my name is Jamie McLaughlin, and I will be presenting on my externship within the CSU Global Student Success Department. I logged 24 hours during this field experience, and this was completed between July 13th and July 22nd, and the location was remote through Zoom. The competencies addressed are advising and supporting, leadership, technology, organizational HR, assessment, evaluation, and research, law, policy, and governance, and values, philosophy, and history. There is a lot of content that I cover throughout this slide deck, and I will encourage viewers to pause the video so that you can read each slide in its entirety. To keep this video within the proper time length, I will only speak on my learning outcome. Here is the mission of the Student Services Department, if you would like to take a look. Starting with advising and supporting 1.1 interpersonal skills. I learned best approaches to delivering bad news and how to remain upfront with students, staying organized, and of course ensuring that accurate information is being given. For example, I recently spoke with a student whose goal was to attain a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. However, this student did not meet the main prerequisites for the program, which includes already being a registered nurse. So I, had to be upfront with the student to let them know they would not gain admissions into the program. I spoke very calmly and clearly, validated their frustrations, and informed them of what they would need to do next in order to take steps towards achieving their education goals. Advising and supporting 1.2 professional development. I learned the steps taken for the advising team to submit professional development requests, and I learned that 70% of professional development is driven by the employee, whereas 30% is driven by the institution. I took what I learned about finding my own professional development opportunities and joined the Women's ERG within my employer's organization. I am now in a volunteer researcher position and became the team lead of my group. This opportunity has allowed me to learn more about how to properly conduct research and connect cross-functionally with other members of the organization. This has helped me to strengthen my workplace relationships and provide women within the organization with more professional development opportunities. Advising and supporting 1.4, partnering with others. Within my career, I would hold myself accountable to become familiar with other student-facing departments and ask about their services and preferred handoff processes to ensure I direct students to the proper expert to help them. For example, in partnering with others, if a student I'm working with has disclosed mental health issues being a factor for decreased success, then I would hand off that learner to someone within the mental health services or health and wellness department within that university. I understand that my scope of knowledge and information is different than that of a mental health professional, and while I'm capable of leading with empathy, it is only right for me to partner with others within the campus community and hand the student off to the better expert. Assessment, Evaluation, and Research 2.3 AER Design. I'll be able to use what I learned about AER design to think critically about the processes and push for a collaborative approach. I recently spoke with leaders in the department I work in to discuss assessment, as this has not taken place before. As a member of the coaching team, I'm able to advocate for this need and advocate for a collaborative approach in gaining coach feedback to determine the best approach for an AER design and the methodologies behind collecting data. Law, Policy, and Governance 3.1, 3.2. I learned about the model of a shared governance within CSU Global, and I appreciate this model of shared governance and how various committees play their part in the decision-making process and implementation of institutional values, principles, and policies. For my own professional development, I would be interested in joining such committee and have that opportunity to work cross-functionally, which would help me contribute in other ways to my campus community. Landing a spot within a shared governance committee would allow me to show my leadership abilities, critical thinking skills, and collaborative effort to assist within any decision-making process related to policies on campus. Law, Policy, and Governance 3.3, Ethical and Inclusive Application of Policy. I just want to reiterate that you can pause to read through the full slides, but as a takeaway, I am able to learn a lot about the environment of an appeals committee meeting, as I had that opportunity to sit in on what an appeals committee meeting looks like. They are fast-paced and very collaborative. While I did not understand a lot of what was being discussed, each appeal involved a discussion around what was in the best interest for the student. I appreciate being in positions where I'm able to review needs that need investigating, and I like dealing with facts. In my career, I do believe I would be interested in joining an appeals committee, as I appreciate that collaborative and investigative effort. I do think every student deserves a second chance, and I do believe it is my responsibility to follow through with ethical and inclusive applications of policies while reviewing student appeals. I'll be able to use what I learned from this session to lead with an unbiased and well-informed approach. Leadership 4.1, Foundational and Theoretical Principles of Leadership. I'm able to use what I learned in this session to showcase my knowledge about effective leadership when I decide to pursue a leadership position at a university. When asked about my preferred leadership style and my non-preferred leadership style, I will be able to refer back to what I learned about the difference between management and leadership to address my approach to leading a team as it relates to the values of the individual institution and the mission of the department. Leadership 4.2, Self-Awareness and Continuous Reflection. This session helped me reflect on how I can lead with a collaborative approach and own a learner's mindset. It helped me to self-reflect on times where I felt the need to lead a conversation and prove I was the expert to my team members. This could have done more harm than good to my team, as I did not allow for a collaborative conversation. This session with managers in the advising unit is helping me to continue my own self-awareness and continual reflection on how I can foster a collaborative approach with members of my team. I've begun to understand that a leader can learn a great deal when they allow members of their team to create solutions together. Leadership 4.4, Change Management and Innovation. Learning about the changes being made within the Student Success Department helped me understand that in order for the unit to thrive, everyone involved should ask informed questions, hold each other accountable, and celebrate changes being made. In my career, I'm able to take what I learned from this session to value a collaborative approach to decision-making that could affect the entire department and ensure decisions are mission aligned. Organizational HR 5.3, Hiring and Staffing. I learned about hiring initiatives within the advising department, and during this conversation I did have that chance to learn about what managers in the advising department look for. So I got that chance to ask questions and better prepare myself for future job interviews. I learned that while I do not have much experience as a manager, there are other skills and factors about my work experience that could contribute to my qualifications as a leader. I learned about how to brand myself, such as how to speak about my core values and how they could align with the institution's mission. Tying my interview answers back into the mission and values of the department or the institution will be a great way to brand myself as a student affairs professional and hopefully land the position I'm applying for. Technology 9.2, Data Use and Compliance. This piece about looking at data with an ethical and unbiased approach helped me understand a mindset when determining data outcomes, which involves accountability. Instead of reading retention rates and trying to determine why did this student not meet X outcome, the question should be, what did our department do that did not drive a more successful outcome and retention for our students? This mindset helps hold departments and individual coaches accountable to driving successful outcome for their students. In my career, I will consider this mindset and the whole student when reviewing any kind of retention rates and data points around student success. Values, Philosophy, and History, 10.3, Societal and Cultural Contexts. I learned that it's important for student affairs professionals to practice continuous learning. In my profession, I will continue to learn about changes in the field as it relates to the current cultural state of higher education and the growing and ever-changing needs of students in higher education. I've learned that it is my responsibility as a student affairs professional to stay current with societal changes, to ensure I'm able to engage effectively with students and understand changes in higher education. Values, Philosophy, and History, 10.5, Campus and Civic Engagement, and this will be our last slide. I will be able to use what I learned about campus and civic engagement to live out the values and mission of the institution and position myself to always be professional with who I am interacting with on campus. Whenever a student affairs professional is interacting with someone not involved in the campus community or someone involved in the campus community, we must remember that we are representing ourselves within the university. So, I understand that my actions play a role in the overall integrity of the unit and the institution, and I will encourage campus engagement from students and other campus members. Lastly, I do have an artifact of part of my internship schedule. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.